You know, it's funny how we kind of take our eyes for granted.
Yeah.
Like, we rely on them for so much,
Yeah,
but we really only start thinking about them when something starts going wrong.
exactly.
So today we're going to do a deep dive into keeping our eyes healthy. And we're turning to Ayurveda for some guidance.
Yeah.
So we're looking at this really interesting article from the International Journal of Health Sciences and Research.
Okay.
It's called Promotive and Preventive Eye Care in Ayurveda.
Wow. That's, it sounds promising.
I know, right. So Ayurveda, like right off the bat,
Uh-huh.
sees eye health as being totally connected to overall well-being.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. It's not just like an isolated thing.
Right. So I'm curious with that. What's the thinking there?
Well, Ayurveda really emphasizes a holistic approach.
Mhm.
So it's not just about the physical structure of the eye. It's the mind, the body, and the environment.
Okay.
They're all connected.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So the article goes on to talk about three main things that can really impact our eyes. And the first one is, and this is interesting, incompatible contact with visual objects.
You think they're talking about screens?
I think they're totally talking about screens.
Yeah. It's unavoidable these days.
It really is. So we're staring at computers and phones and TVs,
Yeah.
often in like really dimly lit rooms.
Right.
And that intense close-up focus, I mean, I can feel it. Like, I can feel the strain.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm.
And it can definitely lead to problems over time.
Yeah. And then they talk about misuse of intellect. Okay. Which sounds a little philosophical.
A little bit, yeah.
What does that even mean for our eye health?
Well, it's about how we're using our minds, right?
Okay.
So Ayurveda believes that overthinking, stress, and mental fatigue can actually impact our physical health,
Right.
including our eyes. It's kind of like if you're super stressed out and you get a tension headache,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
your mind is affecting your body, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's not just like what we're literally looking at. It's
Cool.
how we're thinking and feeling.
Exactly. It's all connected.
Okay. The third one is abnormal cycles of seasons, which I don't know what to make of that. It's kind of cryptic.
That's a tricky one.
Yeah.
But I wonder if it has something to do with our sleep schedules.
Oh, interesting.
You know, we've got artificial light messing everything up.
Right.
So we're exposed to bright lights late at night.
Uh-huh.
It disrupts our natural circadian rhythms.
Yeah,
That affects our sleep.
totally.
And Ayurveda says that can impact our eye health, too.
Okay, so screens, stress, sleep, they all play a role here.
Yeah.
But how does Ayurveda explain how these things actually lead to eye problems?
Well, that's where the doshas come in.
Okay.
These are like energies that govern different functions in the body.
Right.
When they're balanced, we're healthy.
Got it.
But if one or more gets out of whack, it can cause problems, including with our eyes.
Okay, so for someone who's never even heard of the doshas before,
Yeah.
what's the takeaway?
Okay. Imagine your body is a garden. If the soil is balanced, everything grows harmoniously.
Okay.
But if it's too dry, too wet, or lacking nutrients, the plants suffer.
Okay.
The doshas are kind of like the qualities of that soil. Keeping them balanced is crucial for the health of the entire garden, including your eyes.
That's a great analogy.
Thanks.
So how do we actually keep these doshas balanced when it comes to our eyes? Does Ayurveda have recommendations?
Oh, absolutely. Ayurveda is all about practical advice. One of the simplest things is netra prakshalana. It's just a fancy word for washing your eyes.
Oh, okay. So like just splashing water on my face in the morning?
Well, yeah, that's a great start.
I'd use that.
You can also use specific herbal decoctions,
Okay.
but even plain cool water can help. It cleanses the eyes, soothes irritation, and can improve circulation.
So simple but effective.
Right.
Okay. The article also mentions anjanjana. I think that's some kind of eye ointment.
Exactly. It's a traditional Ayurvedic preparation made from herbs and minerals. There are different types, each with different properties, but they're generally used to nourish and protect the eyes,
Yeah.
kind of like lubricating eye drops.
That makes sense. Okay, this is where it gets really interesting. The article talks about foot massage being good for your eyes.
I know, right?
It's called Padavhyanga, right?
That's it. It might sound weird, but Ayurveda believes there's a connection between the veins in the soles of our feet and our eye health. There are even some studies that show massaging the feet with sesame oil can help reduce eye strain.
Wow. So it's not just about what we're putting in or on our eyes.
Right.
It's about our whole body.
Exactly. The whole system.
This Ayurvedic approach is really holistic.
It really is.
Yeah.
And we haven't even gotten to diet and lifestyle yet. Ayurveda has a lot to say about those too.
Okay. This is already blowing my mind. I can't wait to hear more about how we can nourish our eyes from the inside out.
Let's get into it.
So we talked about screens and stress and sleep
Right.
and even foot massage. What about diet? What does Ayurveda have to say about how food impacts our eye health?
Well, diet's huge in Ayurveda.
Right.
It's like one of the key pillars of overall well-being.
Yeah.
And that definitely extends to eye health. It's all about understanding how different foods affect our unique constitutions.
Okay. So it's not as simple as just like eating carrots for better vision.
Not quite, no. There's definitely more to it than that.
Okay.
Remember the doshas.
Yeah.
Ayurveda believes that different foods can either balance or imbalance those doshas.
Okay.
So, for example, if someone tends to have a lot of heat in their system,
Mm-hmm.
they might want to avoid foods that are spicy or oily
Oh, yeah.
because those could aggravate their dosha,
Okay.
and that could potentially impact their eye health.
So it's about choosing foods that are cooling and calming for the eyes.
Exactly.
What are some examples of those foods?
Ayurveda often recommends foods that are grounding and nourishing,
Okay.
like sweet fruits, leafy greens, and whole grains. Think about foods that grow in abundance naturally.
Okay.
The article specifically mentions red rice, green gram, and pomegranate as being beneficial for the eyes.
Those all sound delicious and easy to add to meals. What about things we should avoid?
Yeah.
Are there any foods that are considered particularly harmful to the eyes?
Ayurveda generally cautions against processed foods,
Okay.
refined sugars, or fried foods,
Right.
because those can create inflammation in the body,
Huh?
which might affect eye health over time.
Right.
The article specifically mentions things like sprouted paddy seeds
Okay.
and excess sour items as being potentially harmful.
It's interesting how a lot of these recommendations
Yeah.
really align with what we already know about healthy eating,
Right.
but Ayurveda takes it a step further
Yeah,
by connecting it specifically to eye health.
exactly. It's about understanding how food interacts with our individual constitutions
Okay.
and making choices that support our overall balance.
Okay. I see. The article also mentions this concept of Trayopasamba,
Yes.
which are the three pillars of life.
We've already talked about ahara, which is diet. Can you tell us a bit more about the other two pillars and how they relate to eye health?
Sure. So the second pillar is Nidra, which means sleep.
Okay.
Ayurveda really stresses the importance of getting enough restful sleep
Yo,
for the whole body, including the eyes.
that makes sense. Our eyes work hard all day long.
Right.
They need time to rest and repair just like any other part of our body.
Exactly.
But the article specifically mentions daytime sleep can be harmful for the eyes.
Yes.
Can you talk about that a little bit more?
Yeah. So Ayurveda really emphasizes aligning with natural rhythms.
Right.
Sleeping during the day can disrupt our natural sleep-wake cycle,
Okay.
which can lead to imbalances, kind of like how jet lag throws off your whole system.
So it's not necessarily that like naps are bad.
Right.
It's more about maintaining a consistent sleep schedule
Yeah,
that's in tune with the natural cycles of day and night.
exactly. It's about listening to your body
Okay.
and creating a healthy rhythm. Got it. The third pillar, brahmacharya, it often gets translated as celibacy.
Yes.
But in this context, I think it's more about moderation and balance.
Right. More like self-control.
Okay. How does moderation relate to eye health?
Well, it's about being mindful of our thoughts, emotions, and actions.
Okay.
If we're constantly stressed, overworked, or engaging in excessive sensory stimulation,
Mm-hmm.
it can create imbalances in the body that could affect our eye health.
So just like with diet, it's about finding a healthy balance,
Exactly.
not overdoing it in any one area.
Right. Ayurveda teaches that true health is about harmony.
Yeah.
Harmony within ourselves
Uh-huh.
and harmony with the world around us.
That's a beautiful way to look at it. Okay, before we move on, I want to ask about the foot massage thing again. We touched on it briefly, but can you explain the connection between foot massage and eye health in a little more detail?
Okay. So Ayurveda believes there are these energy channels called nadis that run throughout the body,
Okay.
and they connect different parts of the body.
Uh-huh.
And stimulating certain points on the feet can influence the flow of energy to the eyes.
So it's kind of like reflexology,
Yeah.
where pressing on certain points on your feet can have effects on other parts of your body.
Yeah, there are definitely similarities there.
Oh.
And while Western medicine might not fully understand or acknowledge these connections,
Right.
there is growing evidence that practices like foot massage can have real therapeutic benefits.
The study mentioned in the article that showed that sesame oil foot massage helped reduce eye strain.
Mm-hmm.
is pretty convincing. I might have to try that after a long day staring at a screen.
Yeah, I think you'd be surprised how relaxing and rejuvenating it can be. It's definitely a practice worth incorporating.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. Diet, sleep, stress management, even foot massage. Is there anything else Ayurveda recommends for keeping our eyes healthy?
Well, there are specific practices like Anjana, which we talked about earlier,
Right.
but there's also a whole system of yoga practices that can be really beneficial for the eyes.
Oh, like eye yoga.
Exactly.
Heard of that.
Have you?
Yeah. What kinds of things does it involve?
Well, you might be familiar with palming,
Okay.
where you rub your palms together to create warmth,
Uh-huh.
and then you gently cup them over your closed eyes.
Yeah.
It's a great way to relax and rejuvenate the eyes,
Yeah.
especially after spending a lot of time looking at screens.
That sounds so soothing.
It is.
Are there other eye yoga exercises?
Oh yeah, there are tons. Things like blinking exercises,
Okay.
focusing on distant objects,
Uh-huh.
and gently rolling your eyes in different directions. These can all help strengthen the eye muscles and improve flexibility.
I can see how that would be really helpful for preventing eye strain.
Yeah.
Are there any specific yoga poses that are good for the eyes?
The article mentions Tritaka,
Okay.
which is a practice of fixed gazing.
Uh-huh.
It involves focusing your gaze on a single point,
Mm.
like a candle flame,
Okay.
for an extended period. It's said to improve concentration and strengthen the eye muscles.
That sounds intense.
It can be, yeah.
Is there anything a bit gentler for those of us who aren't ready for staring contests with candle flames?
Of course. The article also mentions Matsya Asana, which is the fish pose.
Okay.
It involves arching your back
Uh-huh.
and tilting your head back,
Okay.
which can help improve blood circulation to the head and neck area,
Right.
including the eyes.
Okay. It sounds like there's a whole world of yoga practices that can support eye health.
Definitely.
What about breathing exercises? Can those help too?
Absolutely. Pranayama, which refers to breath control techniques, can be incredibly beneficial.
Okay.
Certain practices like Nadi Shahana, alternate nostril breathing,
Uh-huh.
and Brahmari, humming bee breath,
Okay.
can help reduce stress and improve circulation,
Okay.
which can indirectly benefit eye health.
So it's not that these breathing exercises directly target the eyes,
Right.
but they create a sense of overall well-being
Yeah,
that supports healthy vision.
exactly. It all comes back to that holistic approach.
Yeah.
Ayurveda sees the body as an interconnected system.
Okay.
And when we address one aspect of our health,
Uh-huh.
it can positively impact other areas as well.
This is so fascinating. I'm learning so much about how Ayurveda views eye health as part of this much larger picture of well-being.
It is fascinating, isn't it?
We've covered so many practices already.
Yes.
From eye washes and foot massage to yoga and breathing exercises.
Yeah.
But there's one more piece of the Ayurvedic eye care puzzle I want to ask about.
Okay.
Rasayana healing. Can you tell us a little bit about what that is and how it relates to the eyes?
Rasayana therapy is all about rejuvenation.
Okay.
It's focused on using specific substances and lifestyle practices
Mm-hmm.
to enhance vitality and longevity. Think of it as a way to support your body's natural healing processes and boost its resilience.
So how does this apply to eye health specifically?
Certain Rasayanas are known to be particularly beneficial for the eyes.
Okay.
The article highlights Triphala. It's a combination of 3 fruits,
Yeah.
amla, bipitaki, and haritaki.
Okay.
And it's often taken with honey and ghee for eye health.
Okay.
And there's research suggesting that it could be helpful for improving myopia.
We talked about ghee a little bit before.
Right.
Clarified butter. I know it's a staple in Indian cooking.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what makes it so good for the eyes?
Well, ghee's a rich source of vitamin A, which is essential for healthy vision.
Right.
It also contains other beneficial compounds that may support eye health.
Okay.
And from an Ayurvedic perspective, ghee is considered to be very nourishing and easy to digest.
The article also mentions yastamadu,
Yes.
licorice root, as being beneficial for the eyes.
Yes.
I've actually never even heard of that before. How does it help?
Licorice root has potent anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. So in Ayurveda, it's often used to soothe eye irritation and protect against damage from free radicals.
It's amazing how many natural substances Ayurveda utilizes for eye health.
It is?
It seems like there's a remedy for just about everything.
There really is.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of Ayurveda.
Yeah.
It draws on the healing power of nature to address a wide range of health concerns.
Yeah.
And many of these remedies are things that we probably already have in our kitchens.
Right.
So they're really easy to incorporate.
So we've explored a ton of information about Ayurvedic eye care,
Yeah.
from simple daily practices like eye washing and palming
Right.
to more specialized therapies like Rasayanas. As we wrap up, what are some of the key takeaways that you'd like to leave our listeners with?
I think the biggest takeaway is that Ayurveda views eye health as an integral part of overall well-being.
Yeah.
It's not just about treating symptoms when they arise. It's about nourishing and
Yeah.
supporting your eyes
Uh-huh.
to maintain healthy vision for years to come.
So it's really about prevention,
It is.
taking a proactive approach to eye care, rather
Yes.
than just waiting till there's a problem.
Exactly. And what's so great about this is that many of these practices are super accessible,
Yeah.
easy to integrate into your daily life, whether it's incorporating more eye-friendly foods into your diet,
Right.
getting enough sleep,
Uh-huh.
or even just taking a few minutes each day to practice palming. You can make a real difference.
It's really empowering to
Yeah.
realize that we have so much control over our own well-being.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling really inspired to start implementing some of these practices,
too.
like right away.
Even small changes can make a big impact over time.
Absolutely.
And remember, Ayurveda is all about finding what works best for you.
Yeah.
And creating a lifestyle that supports your own needs.
I think that's a great note to end on. It's been such a pleasure exploring the world of Ayurvedic eye care with you.
It's been great.
And to our listener, thank you for joining us for this deep dive into the fascinating world of Ayurveda. We hope you gained some valuable insights
Yeah,
and feel inspired to take a more holistic approach to your own eye health.
definitely.
Remember, taking care of your eyes is an investment in your future well-being.
It is.
Until next time, keep those eyes healthy and bright.